welcome. Thank you so much for coming to spend time with me. I'm Sherry, and this is my little podcast where I share the creative things that I do. It's been a while. We uploaded a short onto the channel yesterday, a video short, and it basically said it's been 85 days. So it's been 85 days since I said, see you next week. So thank you for your messages, asking if everything was okay. Everything was okay. It's just been a tough few weeks, really. It was the week that we lost our Queen, which was a really emotional time. And I got COVID, and Chris got COVID too. And I was so ill. It was about 10 days, I think. I tested positive for 10 days. And I've never even had flu before, so I think it's probably the roughest I've probably ever felt. And then even when I got better, it just left me so tired. You know, the smallest things. At the end of every day, I was just exhausted. And then my husband had major spinal surgery, which we knew was going to happen, but they just sort of suddenly said, can he come in next week? So he's recovering really well, but yeah, that happened. And then, we lost a dear friend very suddenly, and that was a shock. And then Chris was unwell again, which I think was because I think the COVID had really knocked him like it had me, so you're sort of susceptible to things. So we're all fighting fit now, but it's been doing a podcast where you wouldn't want to have seen me when I wasn't very well. At the best of times, I'm not exactly an oil painting, but certainly then you wouldn't want to have seen me, and we just didn't have time. It's been manic. All the advents are delivered. There's one which is delivery pending, but that's there safely. And when I started recording this, I think there was one left on the shop, ready to ship. If you're in the United States, it's probably not going to reach you before the 1st, but it might. I mean, we've actually had some that we were posting on a Thursday that were arriving on the Tuesday morning. So it's possible, but most of them have been taking about 2 weeks. So there's one of those for sale ready to ship. That's a double knit, I think, is left. And we're just working on the 12 days by his fireside and Christmas Eve boxes. And if you have ordered those, then they start shipping next week. And they'll probably ship in batches over a week because we've got quite a few of them to get out the door. So thank you for sticking with us. Thank you so much if you're one of our very patient patrons, because of all the things I've said before, the content hasn't been there for you, but we've got lots and lots planned over December and next year. And we're kind of doing a relaunch on our Patreon because we've got so much we want to share with you. So thank you so much for sticking with us, really, because you mean the world. And your support means that we can do this. So thank you, and we've got some lovely stuff coming up for you. Also, thank you so much if you stuck with us, because I know so many of you are making botanist blankets and butterfly blankets, and the butterfly minis we haven't done the butterfly minis that we should have done, but we're planning to continue it through next year. So sorries all round for not, for those things. But as I said, we're fighting fit now. Next year, there's a few things that we're hoping to do at the beginning of the year. And then next year, our focus is going to be kind of going back to our roots, really. And it's going to be nature, because that's what we're all about. That's what makes me happy. So we're going to be following the year. I'm going to be keeping a daily nature diary. I do keep a nature diary, but it's random. And over this last, 10 weeks, where I haven't really been going out much, actually, then that's all fallen apart. So I'm starting it again. And all of the yarns, the creative work, everything I do is going to follow the ebb and flow of nature, really, rather than faithfully every single thing that's happening at any time, really just more how nature makes me feel as well. So that's going to be starting. We've got a few coming up that are planned in December. That's another reason why there have been not so many shop updates, because we haven't been able to work. Anyway, autumn winter. I love autumn winter. I've no secret, it's my favourite time of the year. I know for many people it's a difficult time of the year, and you see grey skies, you know, it gets dark early and it's difficult. And I understand that. For me, and you see summer probably as just this wonderful time of hot days. For me, summer is a struggle. I just don't like the heat at all. I think I'm just a nesting person, and I just find winter just means jigsaws and knitting. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Knitting or sewing without sort of looking at the garden thinking I should really be doing that, because there's nothing you can do. It's dark outside, so you can light a candle, nest up and get something out. It also means dead plants, because my house plants just, I mean, when I bring a house plant in, I sort of have to bring them in screaming. They will just about make it through summer, and then I don't know what happens. I've lost 2 in the last couple of weeks, one of which I thought I would give some tender loving care, and it was just dead. And it was actually a plant that my son has had since university. So answers on a postcard, please. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But when we enter this time of year, the plants all just sort of scream. I think maybe I'm giving them too much water, but then you've got to water them still. And yes, I'm standing them in a pot rather than watering them from the top. They're just not happy. Anyway, the other thing that happened is I have been diagnosed with having carpal tunnel, because I have not been able to knit. I can't knit for more than a couple of rows before my hand goes a bit numb or tingly. Sewing's not so bad because my wrist doesn't move so much. But anyway, I'm hoping once I've had some treatment for that, I will get my knitting mojo back. But I am still knitting, but just even more slowly than usual. So, knitting wise, I've got a couple of socks that I will show you. I don't think I've shown them to you before. If I have, it's a very slow project. Socks. I know some people watching this, because you message me, say, oh, you can't, you know, you don't know about how to make socks, and it's a bit daunting. They can be daunting to think about, but once you start knitting socks, you will not stop. There's something really special about getting out a pair of hand knitted socks and putting them on. I don't know. I suppose it's the same. I wore my cowl, one of my favourite cowls, out the other day, and some little mitts that were gifted to me, and that's lovely too. You know, you think I made this, but socks, only you really know about them. They're on your feet, but it's special. And I've said before, there are some lovely tutorials out there. Sorry about that, my battery just died. We couldn't find the charger of the Blackmagic that we use for filming, because we haven't used it for so long. So we've got batteries, and it's running out on me. So it's recording now. So I think I was saying, I don't know if I'd already just said it, that I learnt to knit using a tutorial on her blog. This is Winwick Mum, and it's a brilliant one. If you're more of a visual learner, there's so many on YouTube, but once you start knitting socks, you'll be hooked. And actually, because they're in segments, they're okay. They're not, you can do it. So anyway, I've been knitting some. These are double knit. Now, just before I was scrolling through my Instagram feed earlier, and Pamela, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry, because I noticed a comment on my Instagram, someone asking what colour I was using for these, and I don't think I replied to you, so I'm very sorry. This is actually a spiced wine colourway that we did about 2 years ago. And so it's not, we've got another one which I'll show you in a minute, which is because you can see it is slightly different. It's sort of a tweaked spiced wine. This is on double knit. The one we've got in the shop now is actually on sock. But I have used, this is a K, it is, Crazy Sock Lady, I think it is. This is a pattern of hers, free pattern. And yeah, so I'm using that and it is lovely. I'm really enjoying it. Very slow. Every now and then he'll say, "Oh, how are those socks coming on?" They won't take me much longer, but yeah, I can only do a few rows, and that is in one of my little box pouches. That's the colours of Autumn one, which is just big enough. Perfect size really for a little sock project. So that's that. I'm enjoying those, and like I said, they're in double knit, which makes a nice change. And I have also got another little pair that I've cast on, because obviously you cast on another pair before you finish the others, of course you do. And these are in minis from our minis club last year that I've completely forgotten the name of. Brain Fade number 1. But basically I've used the minis and a main skein of our amethyst yarn, and I'm making another pair of socks for me. Just vanilla, just something easy, just a vanilla sock, because I need something simple at the moment. So obviously they'll be finished about July next year, but it doesn't matter, I'm enjoying them. And I've also got some stitching. Now, slow stitching has got a whole new meaning when it comes to me. I've been doing, which I've been really, really bad at documenting on, I've been putting pictures on Selvage Chronicles. Really bad at doing that as well, I'm sorry. But I've been stitching through all different ones through the year. And this is one that I started, keep doing this, that I started that I found the other day, that I hadn't finished obviously. And that is cow parsley, and the idea was, I think I've started this on a Patreon video. The idea was that I was going to do the cow parsley and then I was going to put lots of a floral mishmash really all around it. Oh, I'm so enjoying that. I'm so enjoying doing that. Just adding beads and a bit of couching stitch, and I've just added some sari ribbon there, sort of silk ribbon. Oh, just enjoying it, it's lovely. And I think that's the thing, it doesn't really matter, does it? If it does take you months and months, and if you do pick it up and finish it, because actually I think that's fine, because sometimes you're feeling that you want to do one thing more than another, even with stitching. I won't hold them all up, but I'll pop some video footage in of the amount of projects that I have that I'm in the process of stitching. Things that I've started, things that I've drawn, that I've got colours for, and then I've started them, or some of these actually I haven't started. And then each, this is my bag of bits that goes around with me. So there's lace, there's tiny bits of lace, there's a couple of sequins in there, some bits of thread that I think, oh, that definitely will go with that. My little bag of treasures, really. So that is that. And also these I found, Sharon, if you're watching, you bought me these. I've been saving these. Oh, I came across those the other day. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet, but they're definitely going to be cut into. Oh, and things like this. So this that I started, which is a little well, like a wishing well. Stopped that, don't know why, I was having a good time with that one. This, which is a little cross stitch, which I came across. I need to do something with that. Oh, this, which was a Winnie the Pooh Christopher Robin, which I drew for my little grandson. That needs to be done. Oh, and things like this. This is Nikki Franklin. This is one of Nikki Franklin's designs, and that I stitched, I think it was last Christmas. And I have got, I love her embroidery patterns. I've got a few of her Christmas ones actually. I haven't got her advent calendar this year because I've got quite a few of them, because they're very generous advent calendars and you get so much in there to do. But I might get one of her 12 days if she's still got one left. I can't resist it. It's not Christmas without something from Nikki Franklin. But anyway, I've got lots of things like this that I have done, but I don't know what to do with them afterwards. Sometimes I think I'm going to make that into a cushion. And my cat Tommy, since I was on last, Archie's had his 9th birthday. That was on the 14th of November. And then, which was exactly the same day, we got him. He was born on the exact day that we lost one of our other lovely cats, Charlie. And then when we went to pick Archie up, we found out he was born on that day. How weird is that? And then Tommy has got a birthday the very next day. So Tommy, it was his 4th birthday on the 15th. So we're all birthdayed out. And one of my sons has just had a birthday as well at the weekend. And we went to Exeter Christmas market for the first time. I don't feel very Christmassy yet. I think it's because I haven't had time to do anything, but it's lovely going in there. Completely lost what I was saying now. And you're never quite sure what to do with them. And Tommy, if I make a cushion, Tommy's like, oh, we're going to sit on that. Or Archie will jump up on the sofa. So that's a bit of a difficult one. But I thought I might make them into, I've got quite a few of them, which like I said, I'll try and drop some footage in, that I might do something with. But I'm still thinking what? I don't know yet. Do you have any ideas? They just all sorts of all the colours all gel together really nicely. But it needs to be something that isn't going to need washing all the time because of the embroidery on it. I don't know. Anyway, patterns. So I'm going to attempt to actually knit with our advent calendar this year to show you the sort of colours that you get in it, and also because I so look forward, I did it about 3 years ago, so look forward to just sitting down of an evening and just knitting or crocheting. So I was going to do the Dust of Snow, have I got that right? By Helen Stewart. I was going to do that. But Sandra Cherryheart has just put out, what's it called? Baubles and Berries wrap, which is crochet. Oh, it does look good. So not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. And my advent is in Stellina. So I thought Dust of Shawl would look lovely. Dust of Snow. I don't know what to do. But I'm just looking forward to finishing work at a reasonable time and going to do some knitting or crocheting every night, or stitching, or jigsaw, fitting it all in. So anyway, I thought I would show you what has gone into the shop, because I haven't shown you for a while. I'm going to start with what went in a couple of weeks ago. We put, as I've said before, we try and put our colours in so that the colours that go in any week all sort of go with each other, so that it's easier for you to see, because they all look different on monitors. So this is Coming In From the Rain, which we have dyed this up slightly differently, so it's almost got like a marbled look, and it's got speckles, black speckles for like the rain. And that's that feeling when you come in and it's cold, and I love walking in the rain. That's what I mean. I'm a real winter person. And you come in and it's all cold, and you close the front door and have a cup of tea. It's that kind of thing. So that's Coming In From the Rain. And we have got this one, which I talked about before, which is Spiced Wine, which will not knit up, like I've said, exactly the same as this, because it has been dyed up differently, but it's that kind of look. So that's spiced wine. And then this is baking days, which I love. And that is, you know, when you're baking. I'm doing my Christmas pudding next Sunday. And today's Sunday. And I just thought I'm going to grab the time to do the podcast. But that's, you know, cinnamon and ginger and flour and all that kind of thing. So that's baking days. So they kind of look really lovely together, I think. And then we have got this one, which is games night, which again, I think is something you do more in winter. Over summer, we tend to sit outside of an evening, often till quite late. Sometimes we'll play cards, but mostly we'll just chat. Winter, out with the board games. I'm learning to play chess, very slowly, learning to play chess. Okay, I've had a couple of lessons, I know the absolute basics, but Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly, all of that. So that's games night. And this is Home Sweet Home, which is, there is a gorgeous bag, which very much inspired this colourway, which I have actually, I've sold it, so I'll put a picture in of perhaps the Instagram photo or something. I might have some footage of it, but that's lovely. That's a sock set. So that's, I think that was last week, a week ago. That's those colourways. They're all on the website. Then you can do a thing on YouTube now where you can link to your shop, but we'll see about that one. If there's a link somewhere, then I've done it. If not, then just head to the shop. Also, I've had a few people saying, I can't find your shop. I'm not on Etsy anymore. It's sherryiris.com. I will put the link below. I know some people said, I can't find any of your things anymore. I think they were going to my old Etsy. I still get likes on my Etsy shop. And then this week, this week's colourways were very much inspired by fabric. This fabric, oh my goodness. So yarn fabric makes me ridiculously happy. If I walk into a fabric shop, I just couldn't be happier. And when I saw this, I was just like, this fabric and polka dot lining. I mean, does it get any better? Look at that. I just love this fabric. I have got a tiny little bit more of it actually. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. And I've made little so I'm calling these little notion pouches. These have got no interlining. I've made these before and they've been quite popular. I haven't made them for quite some time, but for notion pouches they're ideal because they don't take much room. But they're also really lovely little things for things like makeup bags. You could put your makeup in there and then pop that into your bag. Oh, I love that fabric. Anyway, that has inspired this week's colourways. So this is Vintage Treasures. And the reason I called it that is because this is going into the loft, the attic, and finding a really old dress or something, which would make me ridiculously happy. It's got that kind of vintage feel, as if it's a piece of fabric that's faded and just waiting to be found again. Anyway, that's Vintage Treasures bag, and this is Vintage Treasures skein, which is apricots and sort of bluey teal and just hints of pink and lilac in there. And this one is Magic in the Air. I think I put on the listing, it's nearly here. It's very much this kind of feel, but also it just felt really Christmassy as well. So that is Vintage Treasures and Magic in the Air. So that's when it went into the shop this week, which I spectacularly didn't list. I put an Instagram up saying it's going in the shop. I thought it was funny, we didn't sell any. And then someone said, I can't find it. And I thought, well, it's definitely there. And same with the advent calendar. I didn't list the advent calendar either. It's been that kind of week. So the other ones that I wanted to show you were ones that went in a couple of weeks ago. There are a couple left of these. This is Pistachio and Rose. Very much the, do you like Turkish Delight? I love Turkish Delight. That's Turkish Delight for me. Those colours. That's Pistachio and Rose. This is Christmas Wishes. This one actually is on Sparkly Stellina. And these are all sock weight. And sorry, I should say they've all been sock weight that I've been showing you. And this one is Winter Wonderland, which is a colour that we did last year. So they all go beautifully together too, because I know some people like more frosty colours rather than warm colours. So we thought we would do those. And actually, and I've just brought along a handful more that are in the shop that we've put in sweater quantity because they're popular. And we did say we were going to try and do that. This one I've just actually looked at. How nicely it goes with these actually. But this one is Songbird. I've also got a tiny little bit more fabric when I get the time to make a couple more of the Songbird bags. So that is Songbird, which goes beautifully with Turtle Dove. This is available on I think 2-ply and 4-ply. I've had questions about that before. The 2-ply is still the same sock weight yarn. So if it says 2-ply, it's still perfect for any sock weight pattern. It's just, it will give you a more defined stitch. And this is on, I think 3 bases. I think it's on Stellina, 2-ply and 4-ply. And that's Turtle Dove. And then Grandma's Quilt, which I think is only left on sock, although there may be a couple of minis. That's lovely. And Our Winter Friend, which actually, again, that comes on, I think this is on 4 bases, white Donegal Nep and Donegal Nep, both all sock weight again, and then 2-ply and 4-ply sock. That's Our Winter Friend. That's reflecting the robin. Got a little robin in our garden. We also got a lovely little wren that started coming. And this is, I brought this because it's pumpkin, and I just thought that went lovely too. So if you like your oranges and your, those sort of cosy autumny colours, that is Our Winter Friend and pumpkin. And that's it. I've got lots more I could show you, but I won't because I've been waffling on quite long enough. Oh, got one more bag to show you. Forgot this one. Oh, there's a couple of these left. These are, I call this one Regency. It's very Jane Austen. I love this bag. And this has got, it's got a lovely lining. So that's Regency. And the only other thing is our sock club has just gone in. So thank you for your patience with the sock club and the botanist club. They should have all arrived by now, I would think. If not, they are on their way. And our clubs are, they're surprises, so you don't know what you're getting. You have to put your trust in us. But what was I going to show you? Where is it? Here it is. So our sock club, the little bookshelf yarn club, is inspired very much by literature. And we've done Alice in Wonderland and Little Women, Wind in the Willows. And anyway, this is, and the last one was Great Expectations, which I'll put a little bit of footage in of that. This is to give you an idea. This was our Alice in Wonderland one. And this month's is The Hobbit, which will go out in December. I think that's it. We've also, the Botanist Club will be going up probably next week. And we've got some lovely colourways coming up in December. But that's it, really. I think, did I want to say anything else? Probably not, I'll stop because my battery's going to go again. Thank you so much for coming to join me. Tell me what you've been watching, reading. I watched The Secret Life of Bees last week, which, oh my goodness, I loved that. Yeah, what have you been watching and what have you been reading? I'd love to know. Thank you so much for coming to spend time with me, and I will see you next week. Have a good week.